Good morning and welcome back to the channel. Today I'm going to be cycling with a friend of mine, Peter, who's just getting into cycling. He's done a fair bit of commuting and stuff like that, but he's recently retired and wants to take on a bit more road cycling. And I know he's got a few questions about road cycling and training. And hopefully you might find these questions interesting too. And there he is, just up ahead.
Hi. How much time do you find you need to give to cycling?
Me, I try to do about 8 to 10 hours a week, but
Right.
obviously when you're starting out, you might want to just do 2-3 hours.
Okay.
Could be 3 separate rides, or...
So you don't have to do 8 to 10 hours to kind of see a difference?
No, you'll notice, if you haven't really done much cycling and you just start upping your volume a bit, you'll notice a massive change in fitness and your ability just by riding, 2 or 3 or 4 hours a week if you can.
And if I was looking to progress my road cycling as a sort of recent retiree who's got a bit more time on their hands, I might want to progress from just cycling on forest paths onto the road. I'm a little bit anxious, I suppose, about the safety of road cycling.
Yeah, that's a good...
And lacking confidence in that. What would you
Well, yeah, no, that's fair enough. Roads can get pretty busy and you often do get close passes, but what I've found was, or what I would advise, I suppose, is trying to start off with making sure you can go on quiet country roads, a bit like these are. So they're great, ideal training roads, and gradually sort of drip feed in busier roads perhaps to give you a bit more confidence.
Yeah. What if I lived in the
car? Hang on. Having said it's quite quiet roads, there's a few cars around.
Yeah. What if I lived in a sort of busy urban environment?
Well, you could use, I know like in Bournemouth where we live close to, there's quite a lot of cycle paths. So I'd perhaps start off on a cycle path and gradually, build up my cycling confidence like that, but then also try to get out the town maybe a bit more, like even if you had to go in your car, to go somewhere where is relatively quiet.
Yeah.
Well, you don't have to worry so much about traffic. But another thing you could get, which is a bit of tech, is a radar, which I've got on at the moment.
Okay.
And that just gives you advance warning when a car's coming up behind you, and gives you a little bit more confidence.
Well, do you get a little bleep or something?
Yeah. And then you can, either move out the way or make sure you're over on the side of the road a bit.
Yeah.
Or sometimes on these roads, as we'll see in a minute, when they're very narrow, I do pull over and let cars through.
Yeah.
Rather than insisting on my right of way, like I know there's a car behind us now. You generally find people do give you, a reasonable amount of space, but it is one of those things you just get used to.
People have all sorts of reasons for doing cycling, I suppose. At my stage in life, certainly one of the big reasons is to be fit and to stay fit. I wonder if you've got any advice on how to structure a plan over a week, for example, to improve fitness.
I think cycling is probably one of the best ways to maintain fitness or to get fitness. It's, it doesn't put a lot of strain on the body, on the joints and things like that, like running might. If you're really just starting out, the first thing to do really, as I said before, was just start building up the amount of riding you're doing. And on a recent video I did talk about building your base, and that is literally the basis for your fitness. is your aerobic sort of engine, and how your body, or how good your body is at using oxygen, and especially in your legs if you're a cyclist. And the best way to do it, or one of the best ways to do it, is just to build your endurance. So if you are just starting out, maybe doing an hour 3 times a week, and then gradually building up an hour and a half, 2 hours. Depends how much time you've got. If, for example, you had 4 hours a week, I would probably do a 3-hour ride if you could, and then another hour doing something a little bit more intensive. But 3 hours steady, like we're doing now, just chatting but pressing on the pedals the whole time, to build up that base endurance. You could just start out just doing that, a couple of 2-hour rides a week, or maybe more if you can. And once you've built up to, you could ride for a couple of hours quite easily, 2 or 3 hours quite easily. You could probably start doing something a little bit more intense to start developing your VO2 max, or your maximum amount of oxygen you can use, which is shorter, sharper efforts. Like maybe if you come across a hill, do some hill repeats, roll up or go up it, roll back down, do another one. Or every hill you come to, try to sort of attack it. If it's a 2-3 minute sort of climb, that would help develop more of your top end, as they say. But really it is just about building volume in the beginning, and the more you do, the fitter you will get.
And is cycling a sort of silver bullet for losing weight? Because a lot of people my age, and myself included, are always keen on losing a bit of that middle age.
I think weight. I think it helps, and it certainly helps to maintain a weight, but I don't think, unless you do massive amount of miles, you're going to lose a lot of weight from cycling.
But in combination with, I suppose, diet.
Yeah, absolutely. If you sort of really focus on your diet, and then use cycling to help maybe reduce your weight a little bit, or maintain weight, that's probably the best way to go about it. Having said that though, you do hear stories of people who've lost loads of weight cycling, and you probably find they do a lot of miles. If you're just going steadily for a couple of hours, you might end up burning 700 calories, which is a lot. But then if you have a snack out on the bike, or an energy drink as well, those sort of things are going to add up the calories. And your body is amazing at just redistributing what it needs. So I find that sometimes I go out and I burn 1,200 calories, but I don't eat any more that day than I would normally, really, and I don't lose weight. Your body just seems to adapt to what it's got, and diverts calories from other areas and things like that. But it all helps.
Okay, so if I'm about to sort of organise my cycling a bit more and add a bit of structure to my cycling, and I say I'd sort of do what you suggest and try and do a longer ride, steady ride of 3 hours, then a shorter ride with a few more intense bursts up hills and things. Will I see any impact on my fitness straight away, or how long does it usually
I'd say
take?
Probably pretty quickly, within a couple of weeks you're going to be noticing it's getting easier. And obviously there's those newbie gains, but you will gain quite a lot quite quickly. Probably at least within a month you'll be noticing you do feel fitter and you can ride longer and things like that. But proper long-term gains do take longer to get, because you're actually developing your capillaries and things like that within your muscles, and your mitochondria and all those sorts of things.
So I know when I come out for a longish ride, I sometimes find if I come out early in the morning thinking I'll come out and then have my breakfast when I get home, and I never seem to learn, but I kind of feel really tired after about half an hour, 40 minutes, and my legs just kind of give up. Is there anything you would suggest I can do about that, or any program of nutrition that you would recommend?
Well, I think probably the best thing to do before you come out is make sure you've had a good breakfast. I mean, there is fasted training, but that's another thing we don't really need to talk about today. But I just make sure you had a good breakfast, and probably if you have
So what would be a good breakfast for a couple of hours, 3-hour ride?
Well, I have like a porridge, big bowl of porridge and banana, and maybe a bit of honey on it as well.
Right.
Probably an hour or two before the ride.
An hour or two. So if I'm going for a ride at 9, like I did today, I'd need to have finished my porridge.
Well, I'd be eating at about 7.
Okay.
Just to make sure it's sort of digested.
That's an early start if it's a Sunday morning.
Yeah.
But I suppose it's down to your rate of digestion, isn't it, as well? A little bit.
I mean, you might find, an hour's fine, but I tend to do a couple of hours. But that's the main thing to start you off, and that probably, especially if you've eaten well the day before, should last you at least, an hour or two. But you could take an energy drink with you, or a bar. Yes, if you want to avoid, ultra processed food, which a lot of energy bars and drinks are, I'd, just have something like maybe a Fat Jack that you've, homemade or whatever with you, just to give you a little boost. But like I said, probably for an hour and a half, up to 2 hours, you might find you're okay just with a very small amount. Once you start going over like a couple of hours, and the ride's going to be 3 hours, say, I'd probably be eating every hour or every half an hour, have a little nibble, try to eat about 50 or 60 grams of carbs an hour. Yeah, just sort of gradually eat it. And it is very much trial and error. I mean, nobody wants to bonk on a ride, but and you don't, when you were saying before about maybe losing weight riding, it's very easy probably to overeat if you take loads of snacks with you and stop for a coffee stop and have a nice bun, and you end up eating as many calories as you've used on the ride. Yeah, it's always, like I said, important to make sure you're doing a big ride, eat the night before, or make sure you've eaten well the day before, and then breakfast and maybe a few bars. It's not super complicated. You just need to keep, especially if you're doing rides like we're doing today, which are sort of zone 2 steady rides, where you're probably burning quite a bit of fat, which is one of the goals of these sorts of rides, is to build up your fat burning abilities, and it's done through long steady rides.
Right. I know somebody once said to me that you're eating for tomorrow in terms of your exercise. I think that's
that's
makes
true.
sense.
Especially if you're doing, say if you were doing a weekend of riding and you're doing 2 rides, you do want to eat on that first ride quite well, because if you're like finishing that ride depleted and your body's catching up, the next day you're going to be starting off probably not with full glycogen stores and stuff like that. So it's quite important to take those things into consideration as well.
Okay. Thank you.
I hope you found those.
Yeah, that's good.
Questions.
So I mean, just to summarise for my own sake. If I'm planning a ride the next day, a long ride, then I really need to be planning to have a bit of a decent meal the night before at least. Probably something like a pasta dish is ideal.
Sounds good.
And then that way my glycogen stores will be up full up. So then in the morning, trying to eat an hour or so before you ride, depending on your own metabolism and how quickly you can digest a bowl of porridge. But something like a bowl of porridge is a good source of ready kind of low-level carbohydrates, which your body can draw on and sort of see you through. And then on the ride itself, you were saying that allow about 60 grams of carbohydrates for an hour riding,
something like that,
just to keep your levels up. And that could take the form of gels or sugared water or flapjacks, bananas, anything that's got a ready sort of quick, easily absorbable form of sugar.
Bananas would be good.
If you want to steer clear of the UPFs, then bananas and some homemade flapjacks are a good companion on a ride.
Right, well, hope you found that useful.
That's very helpful, thanks.
We can always
I'm looking forward to having a coffee and a cake.
Well, we can always come back for a second set of questions if there's other questions. If you've got any questions, don't forget to drop them in the comments. We could think about those next time. And if you've got any suggestions on how to start out riding, or what you did, or what helped you ride, don't forget to drop those in the comments too. So I hope you found the video interesting and useful. If you did, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and subscribe if you haven't. That would really help the channel grow. Until next time, bye for now.